applause is very thin. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. My name is Natim Tento, Minister of Arts and Culture. I'm going to be the program director today on our program here to honor the national heroes. Would advise that when the program commences, there would be no time or no one who would be allowed to move out or in and out. So these 5 minutes, if you think there is some important call you want to make outside there to your relatives or to the Almighty, you do that. So that when the President comes in, we'll commence until we finish the program. But for now, let's enjoy what is here with us. Beautiful food for the ear. Thank you very much. Thank you and sorry to disturb you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, may we all rise for the arrival of the President of the Republic of South Africa. May we remain standing as the choir recites the national anthem.
Yeah.
You may be seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, let me start by showering our recipient with felicitations in being nominated as recipients of the national orders. The President of the Republic of South Africa called us here today as he will be presiding over this investiture of the national orders. Without any waste of time, we will request His Excellency, the President of the Republic, to come and talk to us on this very important occasion. Thank you.
Program Director, Minister Nathi Mthethwa, the Chancellor of the National Orders, Dr. Cassius Lubisi, DG in the government, the Chairperson of the National Advisory Council, Ms. Bridget Mabandla, as well as council members, former President Konare, former President of Mali, who is our special guest today at these awards, who has come to have a meeting with us just to brief us about the work that he's doing on the African continent. Speaking to him earlier, I told him that I was delighted that he would join us today. I also informed him that he should excuse me, that today being Saturday, I only speak English and I only speak French on Sunday. So he's come on the wrong day. If he had come tomorrow, I would have been conducting my input in French. So sorry, President. Former President Sam Nujoma, former President of the Republic of Namibia. We're delighted to have former President here. He and I exchanged some few words earlier. He's 89 years old, retired, and spends most of his time fishing on the Skeleton Coast of Namibia, a place that I've always wanted to go fishing at. And today I cracked an invitation to go join him fishing. So I'll be joining President Nujoma to go fishing with him. Members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished recipients of the national orders, members of their families and friends, ministers and deputy ministers, premiers and MECs, members of parliament, members of provincial legislatures, key officials in our government, directors general and others, fellow South Africans. This is a joyous moment. It's a moment for celebration. Today we should put a smile on our faces as we celebrate these distinguished recipients who we are going to nominate today. We are really gathered here to honor those amongst us who have made outstanding contributions to our country and to the global community as well. Yesterday, as South Africans, we celebrated our freedom, a freedom that was attained through the work of many of the people who we are going to be honoring today. These national orders are essentially a recognition of the many outstanding individuals who defied great odds to make an immense contribution in various spheres of life. Our freedom opened windows of opportunity for many to chase their dreams, for many to excel, to succeed, and in so doing to inspire others to reach beyond what they imagined was possible themselves. We dedicate this year's ceremony to the memory of the father of our nation, former President Nelson Mandela, who more than any other embodied the spirit and the meaning of these national orders. The outstanding individuals that we honor here today are in many and in different ways champions of freedom, champions of peace, human rights, social justice, and equality. In whatever area they have applied themselves, each of today's recipients have honored and upheld the values to which Nelson Mandela dedicated his work and his entire life. Distinguished guests, the national orders we confer today include the Order of Ikhamanga, which is awarded to South Africans who have excelled in the field of arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, and sport. We confer it on some of our country's most dedicated and outstanding athletes, to musicians whose voices lifted our spirits during the darkest hours of apartheid and nourished our souls during the brilliant days of democracy. We honor artists and performers who used their tremendous talent not only to entertain, but also to provoke and inspire, but to strive for a better and more just society. We honor people who have chronicled both the suffering of our people and their remarkable triumphs, their fears and their hopes, their everyday cares and their timeless desires. We pay tribute to those who have faced adversity, who have conquered doubt, who have used the exceptional gifts that they have, not for their own glory, but to celebrate the splendor of human endeavor. Compatriots, the Order of Baobab is awarded to South Africans for distinguished service in the fields of business and the economy, in the field of science, medicine, and for technological innovation and community service. These people, some of whom have sadly left us, are pioneers who laid the path along which others would follow. Without exception, they have excelled well at what they did. They were affronted by the ills that bedeviled our society and which in various ways continue to hold back what I would call the realization of the potential of our people. They include those who confronted the great injustices of our broken past and the inequalities of our present, and began to build a new society where none is exploited, none is humiliated, and in which the country's riches are shared amongst all the people of our country. These are people who challenge prejudice, who fight for people living with disabilities, or who are otherwise marginalized by the circumstances of their birth. They give a voice to those who would otherwise go unheard. These are people who use their knowledge and their capabilities, their ideas and their energy and their innovation to forge a South Africa defined by solidarity, defined by community, as well as progress. The Order of Luthuli is awarded to South Africans who have served the interests of South Africa by making a meaningful contribution in any of the following areas: the struggle for democracy, human rights, nation building, justice, peace, and conflict resolution. They are the peacemakers amongst us, who walk into battle armed only with the conviction that there is no dispute, no disagreement that cannot be settled through discussion, consensus seeking, or dialogue. They are the jurists who see that the law must serve no greater purpose than the pursuit of justice, and that the courts of our land should in the first instance be the champion of the dispossessed, the wronged, and the vulnerable. They are the men and women drawn from every class and every hue of our diverse nation who confronted oppression and exploitation wherever it was manifest. They are the stalwarts who stood up to the outrages of a regime that was founded on a racist lie and a patriarchal myth. They are the people who organized pickets, strikes, marches, and meetings, vigils, and prayers throughout the length and the breadth of our country, mobilizing our people to action against a brutal system. They organized underground, they took up arms, they went out to the corners of the globe to argue the case for the struggling masses of South Africa. For their efforts, they were restricted, they were banned, detained, banished, tortured, jailed, exiled, and a number of them were even murdered. And yet they stood firm, knowing that the guns would fall silent one day, the jail doors would swing open one day, and the sound of freedom would ring across the land. Our freedom owes a great deal to the devout support of the international community. Many countries offered solidarity and opened their arms to our activists. Many people in our neighboring countries lost life and limb for our cause. It is therefore a special honor today to confer the Order of the Companions of Oliver Tambo in gold to 4 former heads of state, Excellencies Joachim Chissano of Mozambique, Sam Nujoma of Namibia, Alan Joseph Sirleaf of Liberia, and the late Sir Kitumile Masire of Botswana. We also honor those remarkable human beings who stood alongside our people at home and in exile, who provided material and other assistance to our students, activists, and combatants. In doing so, we express our sincere and eternal gratitude to them for joining a struggle that was not theirs, in a land far away from their own, and for giving so much for so long and to so many of our people. Allow me to mention in particular Ambassador Alexander Sergeyevich Chazokov, and Dr. Slava Tetekin of Russia, and Ms. Rosita Joseph of the United States, whom we honor today. We wish to congratulate all those who are to be honored today, who will be named in due course. This is a roll call of heroes and heroines, of people who have been prepared to devote their talent, their energy, their lives to the affirmation and advancement of others. I wish to thank the Advisory Council on National Orders, which is led by Ms. Bridget Mabandla as chair, and Mr. Mandalanga as deputy chair, which has as its members Dr. Glenda Gray, Dr. Lindiwe Mabuza, Professor Malekapuru Makhoba, Ms. Notembi Mkwebana, Mr. James Motlatsi, Dr. Mulifi Oliphant, Ms. Sally Padiachi, Dr. Faisal Randera, and Reverend Buti Tlhagale. We thank them for their sterling work, as well as for their dedication for making the best recommendations and choices to recognize the best recipients who are going to receive these national orders today. Therefore, by the power vested in me, in terms of Section 84 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, I now confer the Order of Ikhamanga, the Order of Baobab, the Order of Luthuli, and the Order of the Champions of Oliver Reginald Tambo to the distinguished persons whose names will be read out. They shall henceforth be honored as esteemed members of the orders of the Republic of South Africa. I thank you.
Afrikaans. Kragtens die bevoegdhede aan my verleen deur die Grondwet van die Republiek van Suid-Afrika van 1996, oorhandig ek nou die Orde van Ikhamanga, die Orde van Baobab, die Orde van die Vriende van Ouer Tambo en die Orde van Luthuli. Die ontvangers word nou geëer as gesiende lede van die ordes, en die mense van Suid-Afrika bring hulde aan hulle almal.
Koisan. Kangesi ngameke kama kaveta ya South Africa kininti ekhensesta. Kanini kang mia hana chijalange Ikhamanga chijalange Baobab ge chijalange Luthuli eke chijalange meke michikwa ye chome gamejong khotle eke Ouer Tambo ma hana chige ai wa dan akakwe ke chige wa chikangchi eke chikwa South Africa we atinchi chu ke chikwa wisisi tanki.
Chivenda ngamanda enda weswa one nga mulayo tewa wa Republic ya Afrika Tshipembe nga ṅwaha wa gidi ḓaṱahirathi ndi ṋetshedza tshiala tsha Ikhamanga, tshiala tsha muvhuyu, tshiala tsha Luthuli na tshiala tsha ṱhama dza OR Tambo. Vhaṱanganedzi vha ḓo ṱhonifhiwa sa miraḓo ya dzi order. Vhathu vha Afrika vha vha vulela muṅwadzi.
Xitsonga. Eka matimba lawa ndzi nga va xerisiwa wona hi vumbiwa bya Republic ra Afrika-Dzonga hi lembe ya 1996, ndzi nyika sweswi mfungho wa Ikhamanga, mfungho wa Baobab, mfungho wa Luthuli na mfungho wa Xingana wa OR Tambo. Kusukela sweswi vaamukeri va ta fundziwa tanihi swirho swo hlonipheka swa mimfungho. Vanhu va Afrika-Dzonga va hluvulela xiqhoko hinkwavo.
Setswana ka dithata tseo ke di neilweng ke molaotheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996. Jaanong ke neelana ka sekgele sa Ikhamanga, sekgele sa Baobab, sekgele sa Luthuli le sekgele sa ditsala tsa ga OR Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga fa ba tla tlotliwa jaaka ditokololo tse di tlotliwang tsa dikgele. Batho ba Aforika Borwa ba ba tlotlomatsa botlhe.
Sepedi ka fase ga matla ke a filego ke molaotheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996. Bjale ke abela sefoka sa Ikhamanga, sefoka sa Baobab, sefoka sa Luthuli le sefoka sa bagwera ba OR Tambo. Baamogedi ba difoka tše go tloga moo ba tla hlomphiwa bjalo ka maloko a hlomphegago a difoka. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba ba hlompha ka moka.
IsiZulu ngamandla engithweswe wona ngumthetho sisekelo waseNingizimu Afrika wonyaka we-1996. Manje ngithwesa indondo yeKhamanga, indondo yeBaobab, indondo kaLuthuli nendondo yabalingani baka-OR Tambo. Abathweswe lezi zindondo kusukela manje bazohlonishwa njengamalungu ahloniphekile ezindondo zesizwe. Abantu baseNingizimu Afrika babathulela isiqhoko.
Isixhosa ngamagunya endiwanikwe phansi komgaqo siseko weRiphabhliki yoMzantsi Afrika wonyaka we-1996. Ndinikezela ngoku ngembasa ye-Ikhamanga, imbasa yeBaobab, imbasa kaLuthuli kunye nembasa yamahlakane ka-OR Tambo. Abo baza kufumana ezi mbasa ukususela namhlanje baya kunikwa imbeko njengamalungu abekekileyo eembasa zelizwe. Abantu baseMzantsi Afrika babothulela umnqwazi bonke.
Sesotho tlasa matla ao ke apesitsweng ke molao wa motheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa selemo sa 1996. Ha jwale ke o rwesa tlokola ya Ikhamanga, tlokola ya Baobab, tlokola ya Luthuli le tlokola ya bomphato ba OR Tambo. Ho tloha ha jwale baamohedi ba tla tlotlwa jwalo ka ditho tse hlomphehang tsa ditlokola tsena. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba ba thoholletsa kaofela ha bona.
IsiSwati ngemandla lenginike ngumthethosisekelo weRiphabhuliki yaseNingizimu Afrika weminyaka le-1996. Manje ngithanza ukuhlonipha abatlonyeliswa ngokubaklomelisa umklomelo we-Ikhamanga, umklomelo we-Baobab, umklomelo waLuthuli kanye nomklomelo wabangani ba-OR Tambo. Laba tlonyeliswa batawuhlonishwa njengamalunga amqoka emiklomeleni yokuhlonishwa yesive. Bantu baseNingizimu Afrika babathulela sigqoko bonke.
IsiNdebele ngaphasi kwamandla enginikele wona ngumthetho sisekelo weRiphabhliki yeSewula Afrika womnyaka we-1996. Kadesi nginikela ngonongorwana we-Ikhamanga, unongorwana we-Baobab, unongorwana kaLuthuli kunye nonongorwana wabalingani baka-OR Tambo. Abemukeli babonongorwana kusukela namhlanje baza kuhlonishwa njengamalungu ahloniphekile kwabonongorwana belizwe. Isitjhaba seSewula Afrika sinethulela ingwani noke.
very much, the President, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans. We will now bestow the Order of Ikhamanga.
The Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is awarded to Tracy Maki. Ikhamanga in bronze is awarded to Ms. Tracy Maki for her contribution to the field of journalism and exposing the evils of apartheid. She exposed the covering up of the manner Steve Biko's death was reported and exposed those in the security branch who were involved. That's right. Elana Meyer. The Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is awarded to Ms. Elana Meyer for her excellent contribution to the field of senior athletics and encouraging the elderly to remain fit in their matured years. Mr. Hashim Amla, represented by Ismail Kaji. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. Hashim Amla for his contribution to the sport of cricket. He has brought pride to our country with his many batting firsts in the international cricket arena and remains one of the leading batsmen of our time. Mr. Omar Bacha. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. Omar Bacha for his commitment to the preservation of our country's history through groundbreaking and well-balanced research and collection of profiles and events of the struggle for liberation. Eric Rismati Baloy. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. Eric Risimati Baloy for his contribution to youth development through training young boxers who have gone on to make South Africa proud in global competitions. Mr. Johan Botha, posthumous, represented by Sonia Botha. Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. Johan Botha, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to opera music and putting South Africa on the world stage. He courageously entertained multitudes and sang for good causes, even at a time when his health was weakening. Ms. Lillian Dube. The Order of Silver is awarded to Ms. Lillian Dube for her contribution to the performing arts and raising awareness in women's health issues through storytelling. Her creative way of dealing with serious subjects through humor has been healing to the nation. Sipho Hotstix Mabuse. For his contribution to the field of music and social cohesion. His spellbinding music has consistently captured the imagination of the nation. Miss Elana Meyer. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Miss Elana Meyer for her contribution to track and field athletics. Her commitment to her sport and her glittering performances put South Africa on the world stage multiple times. Mr. John Mutlankana, represented by John Moll. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. John Gwenakaife Mutlankana posthumous for his contribution to the field of art. His works remain an inspiration to many budding and established artists. Tami Mnyele, posthumous, represented by Rona Sekhale Okbuko. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. Tami Mnyele, posthumous, for his excellent use of art and cultural activism to confront injustice. His creative works remain a living legacy and witness that oppression does not diminish one's talent. Advocate Nakedi Ribane. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Advocate Nakedi Ribane for her contribution to the performing arts and literature. She has been a consistent advocate for equity and justice in the arts. Mr. John Smit. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Mr. John William Smit for his contribution and leadership in the sport of rugby. He captained his country to become world champions and has been the epitome of pride and commitment. Mr. Neil Tovey. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Neil Robert Tovey for his excellent contribution to South African football. His passion for the sport put South Africa on the world map when he captained the national team to winning the Africa Cup of Nations.
You play so well, I wanted you to continue, each one of you. But the President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, will now bestow the Order of the Baobab. Thank you.
Mr. Lord Ndlovu, posthumous, represented by Ms. Z. Ndlovu. The Order of the Baobab in silver is awarded to Mr. Maduke Lord Ndlovu, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to transformation in South Africa. he contributed immensely to the development of black commerce in the country. Mr. Nkosinathi Ndlovu. The Order of the Baobab in silver is awarded to Mr. Nkosinathi Freddy Ndlovu for his excellent contribution to the fight for the recognition of the rights of people with disabilities. His courageous work continues to shine the light on the plight of the most vulnerable in society. Ms. Violet Siboni, posthumous, represented by Ms. L. Siboni. The Order of the Baobab in silver is awarded to Ms. Violet Jacobeth Siboni, posthumous, for her excellent contribution to the struggle for the rights of workers and equality for women. She bravely took on the proverbial Goliath corporations and industries to fight for workers' rights.
So you can see, Hotstix, that the government is also talented. These are the members of the South African National Defence Force. Did you hear that note? Thank you very much, the President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans will now bestow the Order of Luthuli. Thank you.
Presented by Ms. Vivian Libeko. The Order of Luthuli in bronze is awarded to Ms. Sylvia Mutlahomang Mamza Benjamin, posthumous, for her contribution to workers' rights and her gallant fight against injustice. She bravely embraced the cause of disenfranchised workers and women. Mr. Ronald Benico, posthumous, represented by Mr. Remy Benico. The Order of Luthuli in bronze is awarded to Mr. Ronald Benico, posthumous, for his lifelong contribution to the fight for social justice and persistence in challenging the system that oppressed the people of South Africa. Mr. Godfrey Kenneth Beck, posthumous, represented by Mr. Lewin Beck. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Mr. Godfrey Kenneth Beck, posthumous, for his contribution to the fight for the liberation and equal rights for all South Africans. He bravely pushed back against the system that promoted inequality. Ms. Lillian Lily Diedrichs, represented by Eugene Plaikis. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Ms. Lillian Lily Diedrichs for her contribution to the fight for the liberation of all South Africans and women in particular. She is one of the brave women who led the 1956 march to the Union buildings to protest against past laws. Fitzgerald, posthumous, represented by Linda van der Spey. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Miss Mary Fitzgerald, posthumous, for her gallant fight against injustice and inequalities and forced through racist laws. She was ahead of her time, and her legacy continues to live on in downtown Johannesburg. Professor Farid Isaac. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Professor Farid Isaac for his brilliant contribution to academic research and to the fight against race, gender, class, and religious oppression. His body of work continues to enlighten generations of fledgling and established academics. Mr. Swaminathan Gounden. 91. 91. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Mr. Swaminathan Swami Karupa Gounden for his lifelong and courageous fight against apartheid oppression. He continues to live by the courage of his convictions in his pursuit of equality for all. Reverend Charles Hooper, posthumous, represented by Ms. Ntombi Sitsoelo. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to the Reverend Charles Hooper, posthumous, for his bravery and contribution to the struggle for democracy when the apartheid regime was at its most brutal. He left everything and fled to a faraway land to fight the racist system. Major General Keith Mokwape. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Major General Keith Mokwape for his contribution to the liberation movement. His service to the country from exile to democracy has been invaluable and remains his legacy. Ms. Bongile Mkabela. Order of Luthuli is awarded to the well-being of children and young people and her gallant fight against injustice. She is part of the legendary 76 youth that distinguished themselves with their bravery against apartheid. Ms. Raima Musa, posthumous, represented by Fadil Musa. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Ms. Rahima Musa, posthumous, for her selfless contribution to the fight for freedom and gender equality in South Africa, and gallantly facing down the oppressive government of the time. She left behind a rich legacy as a champion of women's rights. General Muamela Mutau. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to General Maumela Moretti Mutau for his contribution to the liberation movement and conflict resolution on the African continent. He distinguished himself with his invaluable work in the redevelopment of countries torn by civil wars. Mrs. Zondeni Sobukwe, represented by Dinlesizwe Sobukwe. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Mrs. Zondeni Sobukwe for her tenacious fight for freedom and her steadfast support of incarcerated freedom fighters. She challenged the injustices meted out against the majority of South Africans. Inkosi Mhlabunzima Maphumulo, posthumous, represented by Mrs. Tobegile Maphumulo. The Order of Luthuli in gold is awarded to Inkosi Mhlabunzima Joseph Maphumulo, posthumous, for his selfless contribution to conflict resolution and to resistance against injustice and oppression. He paid the ultimate price for our freedom and hard-won democracy. Justice Dikgang Moseneke. The Order of Luthuli in gold is awarded to Justice Dikgang Ernest Moseneke for his outstanding contribution to the field of law and the administration of justice in South Africa. Through his leadership, our fledgling democracy has continually administered justice without fear, favor, or prejudice. Mama Dora Tamana, posthumous, represented by Mr. Mongezi Tamana. Order of Luthuli in gold is awarded for her sustained and brave fight against unjust laws and promoting the rights of workers. She consistently pushed back against the injustices meted out on the disenfranchised.
Thank you very much, our choir. The President, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, will now bestow the order, excuse me, the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo. Thank you.
Represented by Mr. Sithole. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in bronze is awarded to Ms. Rosita Johnson for her contribution to the well-being of young South African exiles by enabling them to pursue their education and for raising awareness in the United States for the plight of South Africans under apartheid. Ambassador Jasukov of Russia, represented by Mr. Vyacheslav Tetekin. Order of the Companions of Or Tambo in silver is awarded to Ambassador Alexander Sergeyevich Jasokov of Russia for his contribution to the fight for the liberation of the people of South Africa and the Southern African region. His efforts assisted many young South African exiles, both in Africa and in the former USSR. He's coming back for his own awards. Mr. Vyacheslav Tetekin of Russia. The Order of the Companions of Or Tambo in silver is awarded to Mr. Vyacheslav Tetekin for his contribution to the fight for the liberation of the people of South Africa and the Southern African region. His efforts assisted many young South African exiles, both in Africa and the former USSR.
And there you go.
His Excellency Joaquim Alberto Chissano of Mozambique, represented by Mr. Armando Pangene. The Order of the Companions of Or Tambo in gold is awarded to His Excellency Mr. Joaquim Alberto Chissano for his outstanding contribution to the liberation struggle in Southern Africa. As the second president of a liberated Mozambique, he was instrumental in transforming Mozambique into a thriving democracy. And the stick. His Excellency Sir Kwet Masire of Botswana, represented by Mr. Tato Masire. Oh, Miss Masire. Why have you repeated? Yeah. The Order of the Companions of Or Tambo in gold is awarded to His Excellency Sekwet Kitumile Johnny Masire, posthumous, for his exceptional contribution to the struggle for peace and liberation in South Africa, Mozambique, Rwanda, and the Southern African region. He worked tirelessly in ensuring that Africans are liberated from oppression and colonial rule. And the stick, Mr. President. There's the stick. You can take the... Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, represented by Ms. Kamara. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in gold is awarded to Her Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia for her exceptional contribution to women's leadership on the African continent. She tenaciously contained conflicts in a volatile region while ensuring recovery and development of newly founded democracies in Africa. Which names? The name is correct. His Excellency Dr. Sam Nujoma. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in gold is awarded to His Excellency Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nujoma of Namibia for his opposition to the then government of apartheid South Africa. He led forces that fought alongside South African freedom fighters and posed a formidable challenge to the oppressive regimes in the Southern African region. The founding father of a free Namibia continues to be a great source of inspiration. This and the stick.
Malaika, malaika, nakupenda malaika. malisi nawe ningekuwa malaika. I love you, my angel. Oh, my angel. I love you, my angel. Nami nifanyeje kijana mwenzio, natsindwa na malisi nawe ningekuwa malaika. Nasindwana malisi nawe ningekuwa malaika. Nasindwana malisi nawe ningekuwa malaika.
Thank you very much, our band and our choir. Could you please give them a huge round of applause? That sounds like it. South Africa celebrating her heroes and heroines. Thank you very much. We have come to the end. Yes. We have come to the end of our program today, and we are all invited. That's what the president told me, to lunch at the Marquee. So we will first give way to His Excellency the President and the Chancellor of the Orders, together with the recipients, and all of us will follow them. Thank you very much. Thank you.
2021.
Please say that again.